Before we get started with today's video, you guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Hey, what is up everybody? Sierra here, back for another great video for you guys. Today, I have a very special treat for you. This build right here is a great one. So this build right here, guys, is something that I wanted to try for a long time. Actually, since last night, I noticed that one of my clan members in stuff was running this, and even though this is a little bit different than what he had, like he had a Grupo Sombra backpack, he had a Providence glove on him and stuff, I didn't have those pieces, so I put together pieces that I had, and well, they're completely different. So anyway, you guys, I just wanted to say that this build melts the armor off of all enemies. So I hope you guys try this out. And in this video, we're going to go piece by piece, starting with the specialization gunner. As you guys know, is for any type of DPS build and stuff. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the mask called the Coyote's Mask. So it's an exotic that you can get anywhere, especially where the loot pool is or in Summit or whatever. So as you guys see here, everything on it is maximized. I have a 5.8% crit hit chance mod on it, and it also runs a talent called Pack Instincts. You and all allies gain a bonus based on the distance of the last enemy you hit. So if you're farther away from the enemy, you have 25% crit hit chance. If you're close to them, you get 25% crit hit damage. And no matter how far you are, you know, you'll get different types of bonuses every time you kill an enemy or something like that. So it's pretty worth it in my opinion. Next thing we're going to talk about is the sacrifice. Now, under the record, you guys, I've never ran glass cannon before, but I've heard that it is really squishy, especially perfect glass cannon. So be very careful when using the sacrifice. If you guys do decide to use it, you know, just stay in cover and put your high revive on for your skill. But anyway, this right here has a perfect glass cannon, and you'll deal 60% damage extra with this chest piece on, but you do get amplified weapon damage and stuff. So I've been careful with this build, so I'm actually learned to control it. It's pretty easy, guys, so yeah, just give it a try. We got the Providence holster here. It used to run headshot damage, or actually crit hit damage, and I changed it to crit hit chance, so it runs really well. And the Providence named called the Gift, and it's a backpack which has perfect vigilance on it. The weapon damage is good, maximized crit hit damage, 5.8% crit hit chance, and I put a headshot damage mod on it, so that way I can get a better shot on the head rather than the chest more. So this backpack has perfect vigilance on it, so it's a pretty good, it's actually a pretty good talent for this backpack. So I would recommend trying it out. And it has to do with total weapon damage, so it's really worth it in my opinion. We also have the Grupo Sombra gloves, which is nearly maximized. As you guys can see, I recalibrated it from headshot to crit hit damage. The next thing to talk about is the Fox Prayer knee pads. Those are, I would recommend trying those out. If you guys never couldn't find them, go to like Summit or something and set your loot to knee pads. You'll be able to get a pair of those. They're really worth it for Overlord and stuff. So alright, onto the weapons. As I said, I'm running a CTAR 21, which is an assault rifle. I gotta say, for assault rifle, this thing really, really kills. And this thing runs kind of like the same as the FAMAS in a way, because the RPM's the same as the FAMAS. And I gotta say, this is just one of the best weapons I've ever used. So I would recommend trying this out. If you don't want to use the CTAR, run the FAMAS. But anyway, it has the talent called Killer on it. And it used to run crit hit damage, but I changed it to chance only because, it just needed a little bit more, I needed the chance up to 60%. So the next thing to talk about is the Ravenous. So this weapon you can only get through the Iron Horse raid. Now this weapon ended up being a good rifle for me for this build, because not only I can get good headshot damage on it, but it does, it has like different ways of killing an enemy. So like if you're shooting left shoulder, it's defensive primers, but when you shoot from the right, it adds offensive primers. So the left shoulder is basically, you get additional armor, and you get amplified damage to armor plates for 5 seconds. So basically you get, it can be doubled to 10 stacks, depending on like the more kills that you make with the weapon. So when shooting offensive primers like to the right, you get 100% weapon damage. Each defensive primer is like 4% and stuff like that, as I said. But I do have to say, this weapon really does rock in a lot of ways, especially if you have headshot damage on your builds. And I wanted to show you what happened earlier today. So I was playing in Summit. I was going up against rogue agents, as you can see here. And one of the coolest parts was I was shooting them with the Ravenous in the head and stuff. I was trying to get as many headshots as I can. This first one almost killed me with one of his skills and stuff like that. He comes right up over to me, and then I start shooting him in the head and stuff like that with my Ravenous. I take out my CTAR, and then I shoot him the rest of the way until he goes down. Then the second rogue comes in and ends up, I end up bringing out my decoy so that he can be distracted a little bit more, or she, actually it's a she, so she ends up getting distracted. I shoot her in the head with my Ravenous several times, and then boom, she goes down pretty quickly, and then that was it. So this weapon has a lot of great power to it, but also be aware that this weapon can jump a little bit while it shoots. So you do have to work on your aim a little bit and try to get the hang of the weapon, because this weapon really does have the kick to it. So as you can see here, it has a double barrel, so it shoots depending on which way that you switch your shoulder camera. So when you're switching, it changes, the way it shoots. So like if you're shooting from the right, it's offensive, left defensive, depending on which way you turn your camera. So yeah, that's basically what it does. One of the biggest factors about this weapon too, that with this weapon too, it has crit hit damage on it, and it adds on to your build, which really helps no matter if you're doing PvE, raids, or whatever. It just helps in a lot of ways. If you don't want to use the Ravenous, switch to an M1A or something like that, whatever you want to do and everything. The skills that I'm using is High Reviver, because as I said, Glass Cannon does make you kind of squishy, so having High Reviver on really does help in many situations. But as I said, stay in cover and you'll have an advantage and stuff. I only have 2 mods put on it, which is Reviver, Armor Repair, and Health. I don't have a third one because all I had was Stingers. All I had was Stinger charges, and I couldn't put those on there. So the third one, you could put range or duration, whatever you choose and stuff. But as I said, I couldn't put a third one on. Last but not least is the decoy. So your decoy is the one that will help you get an advantage towards enemies. You throw it out there and it will last up to 20 seconds depending on your mod and stuff. If you have a maximized mod, it will go up to maybe about almost 30 seconds, but you know, you just gotta, you know, be aware it doesn't last that long and stuff, so it is really worth it in my opinion. Last but not least, what we're going to be checking out is the stats of the build. So I have 60% crit hit chance, 149.9% crit hit damage, 118.9% headshot damage. So crit hit damage overall, crit hit headshot damage for the rifle, and then crit hit chance is for the CTARs. So basically this is what I'm working with. You know, you're trying to even it up on this build, but I basically have created damage more than headshot damage because the rifle really does kill them easily. So it's really worth it in my opinion. So anyway, I wanted to give you a last tip. If you don't want to use a Ravenous, switch to like a SOCOM, M1A, Baker's Dozen, MK17, any one of those rifles. I'm just showing you guys this. I usually switch to my SOCOM M1A, depending on the situation and stuff, and it really does help. So, anyway, you guys, that's basically what this build is all about. It is, really good to use in raids or PvE or whatever, but I do suggest trying it out for yourself. But anyway, you guys, I just wanted to say thank you for tuning into this video and checking it out and stuff. Let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite weapons in the Division 2 so far? Have you gotten any of the brand new weapons in the game from Season 9? And if so, what are your thoughts and concerns about them? Let me know in the comments down below and stuff. But anyway, I want to say thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you guys like and subscribe to my channel for more upcoming videos in the future. And turn on those notifications also. So until then, you guys, have the great rest of your day. Later, everybody.
shit for